Hi everyone, it is Wednesday. Oh, stupid computer. It is Wednesday, September 2nd, 2015, and this is episode 34 of Sarah Nova Crafts. I'm your host, Jessica. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Sarah Nova, and on Ravelry and Twitter as Sarah Nova, on Instagram as Sarah Nova_Phoenix. The show notes can be found in a Ravelry group called Sarah Nova Crafts, or on my blog, which is mindknittinglife.wordpress.com. Anything else for intro? No, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm a little out of it this morning. What, it's September already? Holy crap, where did the year go? Like, this is I can't believe I've actually done 34 episodes. I didn't think I'd make it past the first month doing this, because me with the ADD and the not concentrating and, I didn't think I'd keep it up, but apparently I like doing this, so it's a thing. I have one finished object for you. I have 2 whips that I've worked on, and I frolicked 3 things after I recorded last week. So, last week, after I recorded, and I'm like, I was complaining about the number of projects I had, I literally went and wrote them all down on cards so that I could have everything without having to go back to Ravelry, and I could, highlight and write stuff down like, this is a due date, this is a sample knit, this is blah, 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 and organize it and shuffle the cards around and, all that stuff, unlike on Ravelry, which, don't get me wrong, I love Ravelry for keeping track of when I started something, when I ended something, keeping notes on the project as I go, when I made something out of the pattern I made it from, that's great. But for, when you have, how many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and I need to make up a 13th card. So when you have 13, and you need to sort by, okay, this is a sample, this is a blah, blah, blah. I found having actual, physical paper in my hand works real well. So anyways, I pulled the yarn for my September socks last week. However, I have not yet started knitting those socks. Granted, this is only the 2nd day of September, so if I cast on today, I'll still be okay. So that's what I'm going to do once I'm done recording. For those of you that don't remember or weren't here last week, if you're a new viewer, hi, thank you for watching. This is the yarn. It's an opal yarn. And stuff fell over. Of course stuff fell over. Stuff is always falling over. I need to clean this room. This is a mess. You can't see from the table. Yeah, mess. Okay. So, I need to cast those on. I also, on Friday, excuse me, something in my eye, on Friday, I got my sock club yarn for the second installment of the sock club at my local shop. And this is, Jitterbug. It's her fingering. It's not her sock, even though this is for the sock club. This isn't her, no, Evernote. Remind me later, I don't want to update right now, I'm using you. Sorry. So this isn't her sock, but it's still her fingering, though this is actually close to sport. The color is October Afternoon. It's from Wales. And it is 400 yards of, it says Easy Care Merino, so I'm not sure what that means. I think that means it's superwash. Not quite sure. It's 150 grams, which means this is a heavy fingering, almost sport. And here it is, October Afternoon. Some of these skeins were a little more Christmassy than others, so I tried to find one with a bit more orange in it than green. Because I don't want Christmas socks. The yarn smells a little funky. I think it's it got rinsed and it still smells vinegary-ish. It's not actual vinegar, but it smells kind of like vinegar. And I'm just like, this is a slightly odd smell. It's not bad, it's just odd. That makes any sense. I'm blurry. Whoop. There we go. And cat hair in my mouth, of course, because I have a cat. So I got that. I have no other stash acquisitions because, yeah. Also, the only thing I'm letting myself cast on this month is the socks. Both this pair and my personal sock holes. These are the only two things I'm allowing myself to cast on this month. Everything else is I want to finish stuff. I really, really need to get my number of whips down. Hence why I made the cards and organized stuff. Now there's two of them that are it's probably going to be ages before they're finished because I have two long-term like scrap projects. So those don't really count towards current whips. But if you take those out, I have 9 things. So I'm trying to finish stuff. But anyways, so the first thing I finished was my August socks. By the skin of my teeth. I finished them at like 8 o'clock at night on the 31st. And I'm holding the yarn tail. And yeah, so those came down to the wire. So here's the first sock. Here's the second sock. So when you saw this sock last week, this is where I was. So I did all of this, last week. So there you go. Done. And they pretty much match. Look at that. I got them to match pretty good. Except for the cuffs, which are a little off. But it's not that bad. They look pretty good, right? Yeah. I just need to weave in the one tail and I'm done. I mean, they are done. I just need to weave in the tail. So these are done, which is good. I got them in just on the wire. I was determined to finish them by the end of the month. Not because they were my August socks, but because Sock It to Summer ended on the 31st, that night. And so I wanted to have it as an entry to Sock It to Summer, hosted by Amanda over at Not a Podcast. She goes by So Nitpicky, S-E-W Nitpicky, and Not is K-N-O-T. I'll below show notes, I'll put it in. And so it turns out that I did 7 pairs of socks since June 1st, in their entirety. Between June 1st and August 31st, I did 7 pairs of socks. 5 of them were for me, and 2 of them were for other people. 1 was a sample, and 1 was socks for my local shop owner. So, 5 pairs of socks for me over the summer, and 2 pairs for other people. That's pretty good, I think, actually. I think I did pretty good on that. The blah blah blah. The bloody blah. I cannot talk to it. This progress marker, which I'm now going to take out so I can show it to you. Another podcaster I watch, she's the Pearls of Color podcast. Her name's Sarah. She wants to start selling stitch markers, and she asked for volunteers to test them out. So I volunteered, so I got this. Stop jiggling. There we go. It's an owl. And she did it like a Halloween theme, so you've got a bunch of like darker purpley orange stitch markers that come with it. Had to go in my purse to get my little Notions bag because I keep it in my purse because I'm constantly taking my knitting places with me. Where are her? Ah, there they are. I put them in my thingy with all the other stitch markers. So here's the rest of the set. So, I'll put them all together so you can see here, what they all, look like together. So she wants people, to basically beat the crud out of her stitch markers and tell her how they do. So here you go. Here's the whole set. So there's, there's purple, orange, green, black, and yellow beads on them. And then you have the owl. He's a really good progress keeper. He worked well on the socks. And he got a real beating being pulled in and out of my purse while I was working on his sock. And held up real well, so that's good. That's good. Put it back with all the other ones. Yeah, so that's that. The 2 other whips I've been working on are these. Last week I told you about the Laura Ayler knit along. I'm still working on the second clue. The third clue already came out this morning, but I am not going to look at it until I finish the second clue. So if you do not want to see what half of the second clue looks like, look away now. Okay, you can look back. So it's going to form a triangle off the side. So it's going to be, so this piece when it says it's going to be triangle, and then I don't know which side I'm going to pick up on next to do the third part, but it's supposed to be a triangle shell in the end, so yeah. But I am not going to look at the third clue until I finish the second clue. That one I'm actually really trying hard to keep up with. And that, the last clue comes out in a week. So if I can finish clue 2 and clue 3 in the coming week, then I can do that. And the last whip I've been working on is one of my sample knits that I'm doing. This is the cashmere. I actually put a progress marker in so you could tell how far I've come on this. So here's the marker on the side there, so you can see how far I've come. I'm about halfway through a pattern repeat at the moment. So I am only like 60% through the yarn, and it's already this long. Like, well, it's lace weight, but it's an ounce of lace weight. It's not like it's like an insane amount of lace weight, but still, yeah, it's an ounce. Anyways, so I'm working on that. And actually, since I just showed it to you guys, I'm going to move the progress marker so that it is up at the current level where I am actually working. So, I'm going to keep talking while I do that. So yeah, I worked on the socks too, but I just showed you the socks and those were an FO instead of a whip. So, these are the only 2 whips I have at the moment. The only 2 whips I've worked on. I have, like I just said, 12 whips. Soon to be 14 because I need to cast on my socks. There we go. Move the marker. Actually, I need to cake up the club yarn. But yeah, so that's that. Oh, it only took me 12 minutes to go through all the knitting and crafting stuff I've done in the last week. I haven't done much in the last week. On a completely unrelated note, it was really funny yesterday watching, like, Twitter and the internet explode because J.K. Rowling was tweeting about Harry Potter's oldest son's first day at Hogwarts. And I'm a total nerd, and I really enjoyed that. And that was very amusing. And she broke a lot of people's hearts because she put Teddy Lupin, Remus and Tonks's son. Cannot believe it. Remus Lupin and Nymphadora Tonks. Their son, it turns out, is a Hufflepuff. Yay, go Hufflepuff! No, but seriously, people were flipping out because he's a Hufflepuff. I'm like, what's wrong with Hufflepuff? But anyways, I did get some, yesterday was funny as well for me because I was asked to, by my local shop to help them out a little bit, so I'm going to be doing some of their website stuff, which is really cool. That'll be, excuse me with the yawn, oh. So that'll be interesting. I also did some burning of stuff. So I have this stack of DVDs I've burnt, that I'm using as storage because I've lost stuff from hard drive crashes before. And so I want something that, you know, if I lose power, it's not gonna go away. So I've been burning stuff to data storage DVDs, and I just started doing all my pictures, and I've gotten through 2007, so I still have 2008 to present to do, and it's a good thing I have a huge spindle of blank ones, because, I take a lot of pictures, a rather insanely large amount of pictures, and video too. I do video too. Because, like, I've taken so many pictures this year alone, like, just like camera, not like stuff I've downloaded off the internet or anything. But I have taken 15.5 gigs worth of pictures so far in 2015, and it's only September 2nd. So I'll probably be pushing 20 by the end of the year. Because I take pictures of my knitting, my cat. It's funny though, I don't take a lot of pictures of myself or my boyfriend. Because I'm usually the one behind the camera and I don't do selfies really. I mean, every once in a while I'll put one up on Instagram or something, but I don't really do selfies. I have a friend who's taking selfies all the time, but I'm just not that kind of person. And I tend to hate how I look in pictures. It's funny though, because I'm doing a podcast, and I'm putting a video of myself out there. But I think I look better in video than I do in a still picture, because I think in video my personality comes through more. I'm not like at some funny angle where I have this weird thing with my chin or under my eyes or whatever. And, yeah. Something else, last week, I did mention that I wanted to do my own VKN. Now, I do have a couple of restrictions on days of the week, because I don't want to, overlap with Two Tangled Skeins, and theirs is Tuesday nights, and I have stuff Friday and Saturday nights. So I put Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday as options. And I'm thinking of starting next week. And I already had one vote for, I'm looking up the Ravelry message here. Messages. I'm looking at Thursday as my night. Now it would not be tomorrow. It would be next week. I would start next week on Thursday, so that would be the 10th. So I'll actually put a thread up in the Ravelry group, saying that that is going to be the VKN, and you're welcome to come. You're welcome to join me. You know, I'm going to call it for 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, hopefully that's not too early for people in other time zones. Maybe 7:30. I had one person message me, PM me, with stuff that, what time did they say? So 7:30. So actually I'll do 7:30. I'll do 7:30 because they specifically asked if it could start after they got home from work, and it takes them so I will say, I'll change that. Not 7. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Thursday, September 10th, will be the first VKN. So, we'll see how that goes. Because like I said, Two Tangled Skeins has an established one, and I don't want to overlap with them. I actually got to go last night, which was nice, because we didn't have D&D this week. Isn't it sad that my knitting obsession and my D&D game have to compete for Tuesday nights? Like D&D has every other night, well, except for Friday, D&D has every other night of the week that, like, it can pick. But it has to pick the same as the virtual. It's like, Oh, I'm jumping around today. And this is gonna be, I'm probably gonna end this episode by the time it hits a half hour. But anyways, also with our sock club, my sock club, we got some goodies, and we got stitch markers. And it was funny because they just had them in a basket in these see-through bags. So I chose the set I liked. So, I don't have any way to hold these all up easily together, so there's like one big one. There's one big one. It's got, you know, just a fake diamond in it. And then it has 3 little ones, and there's a purple, a blue, and a clear jewel. And I don't know who made these, though our shop owner's daughter has made stitch markers before, so she could have done these. So there's the purple one. There's the blue one, and they all have the same, and they all have just, you know, solid rings at the top. Now, these rings are not big, so see how small that ring is? Do I have here's a, the other end is the one with the thing on it, yeah. So this is a US 1.5 or a 2.5 millimeter needle. So you can see, how small the rings are. So I would only go up to about a 3 with these. So I'll put them all on together so you can see them all together, because I have a knitting needle now and I can do this. And, actually I have this one here. Love this bit. Barely. Okay. So I have another knitting needle here. This is a straight, and this is a 3 3/4 millimeter, which I don't remember what that is in the English numbers ones, in the American numbers, because it actually doesn't have the number on them, but Last one. So, actually, oh no, the little ones don't fit, so the big one can go up to, and of course I'm dropping them all over the place. Of course I am, because I'm a klutz. Okay, so here's all three on a 1.5. US 1.5. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Way down the other end of the needle, and I just lost one. That was good. But the big one fits on a 3 3/4 millimeter. Where did one go? No! I lost it. There it is. Found it. Found it. So, anyways, the little ones, you can only use probably maybe up to a US 3, which is a US 3, which is 3.25 out. I'd probably go a 3 millimeter US 2.5, just because they're very small. But I can use them as stitch markers on my socks, so that's good. This is my needle gauge. It says Windsor Button, but Windsor Button's kind of out of business now. But it's good. It's got, it's a 8-inch ruler, and it's got, the 2 inches here, where you can do gauge, and it's got all the way up. It's got from a US 0 to a US 19, US 18, 19, whatever 15 millimeter is. So it's got like a hole I can stick my finger through. Whee! And all the way down to US 0 down at the end there. So, but it's clear, so like it's really hard to show to you folks. I gotta put my hands there. See? I wish Windsor Button was still around. It was such a shame to see them go. Oh, the sock yarn. My personal sock club yarn comes from Windsor. Anything else? Oh, I gotta put that in the mail. So, the Yarn Harlot is doing her karmic balancing for the ride she did this summer, and my prize that I threw in finally got picked, and so I need to mail it, and I gotta do that today. I have 8 ounces of, what is it? Perrindale wool that I am sending out to a woman in Ohio who donated to the cause. Now, unfortunately, money is tight and I couldn't donate cash to the Yarn Harlot's fundraising goal because this is like an anti-cancer ride. It's a really long bike ride she's been doing every summer for a while. But I did have some wool that I got. This is the stuff I got actually when I got my spinning wheel. And it's undyed, and I have so much fiber because I was a drop spindle spinner for 2 years before I got my wheel, but I didn't really need it. But I got this for free. But you know what? It's going to a good home. It's going to a good cause. And I'm happy to give it away. So I need to mail this to Chicago today. Supposed to get it in the mail yesterday, but I kind of got distracted. Lastly, the last thing, and then I'll let you go, is I've been talking on and off about getting a car on the podcast. And this past weekend, I finally made my decision. There's a Nissan dealership here in town. Well, it's a combined dealership. It's 3 different car brands, but I'm getting a Nissan. And it turns out what they have is that when someone brings in a car to their shop to be fixed, they have loaner cars that they give out so that you can drive to work for the day, and then you drive back to the dealership, pick up your car, go home. And they only keep the loaner cars for a very short amount of time because they want them to be the current model. And they only let them go up to about 4,500 miles on the odometer. So a few of those came up last week as available for purchase because the dealership's getting rid of them. Now, they're the 2014 models, which makes them, at the end of this year, 2 years old, but they have very low mileage. So I am getting a 2014 Nissan Sentra with 2,722 miles on it. I think that's a pretty good deal, and I'm getting it at $4,000 less than original purchase price in 2014 when the car was new, and I'm also getting it for $1,000 cheaper than what Kelley Blue Book says the fair market value is for the vehicle. So you know what? I think I did good, and because my mom has some money from the sale of my grandmother's house. Now, my grandmother's still around. She moved in with my uncle, but she sold her house. we're just paying outright. So I'm not going to have a car loan, nothing, which is good. And Nissans have a good reputation. They're good cars. And I'm hoping to drive this car for the next 10 years or so. So I have some pictures on my phone. So I'll pop these in at the end of the video, too, in case you can't see them. But here it is. It's a dark gray, and the interior is gray as well. But it's about the size of the car I'm driving now. And that's the front seat, and then the back seat, and then the radio. And what makes me really happy about the radio is that jack right there. Because that jack, that is an auxiliary cable jack. You know what an auxiliary cable is? An auxiliary cable is one that has the headphones at both ends. So I can plug into the iPod and then plug into the car and play. And I don't need to worry about FM transmitters anymore. Because that's what I'm using right now is an FM transmitter. And like this car does not have a lot of bells and whistles. It really doesn't. It was a lower, it's like the mid-range model, but it doesn't have like the blinked out stereo or anything, because this was a loaner car the dealership was using, so they weren't gonna, have the navigation package or any of that stuff. But it does have the aux cable, and actually I didn't even care if the car had this, but it ended up that the car has this, is that the car has Bluetooth, so I can do hands-free. I mean, I've been doing hands-free because I have a headphone cord I use for the phone. But since I'm usually in the car alone, I can just do Bluetooth, and then I don't need to worry about the freaking cord getting tangled places. I can just leave the phone in my purse and take phone calls. I'm going to have a car from this century. Seriously, that is a true statement because my Toyota's a 97. And I have pictures of my Toyota. I'll put them in, so I'll put the pictures of my new car and of my old car in at the end, so you can see the two. That's my news for the week. I'm getting the car on Saturday, because we're going, tomorrow night, my mom and I are going to get a banker's check for the cost of the car, and then we're going to go pick it up on Saturday. So, come next week when I record, I will be driving my new car. Now, the other thing is that we didn't trade in my Toyota, because, it's not worth it. I had a friend ask me if they could buy it, and I said, you don't want it. And I didn't say that to be a mean friend. I didn't say it because I don't think they need a car. They do. They need the transportation because, unfortunately, where I live, the public transportation is not good. It's not. It takes you 2 hours to get anywhere in town where I can get there in 15 minutes driving. But the car is only worth $300 or $400, and it would take $1,000 to fix all the issues it has, to get the rust repaired, to replace the front end, it would take $1,000. And because it needs new tires, it needs an entire new front end, there's huge holes of rust in it. I mean, it would probably take more than $1,000 to fix it. And I told my friend, I said, look, the car needs repairs that would cost 3 or 4 times what the car is worth. You do not want it. And I said, I'm saying this as your friend, because I care about you. And then once I explained it to them, they understood. But like when I first said, you don't want it, they were like, what do you mean I don't want it? I want a car. I'm like, you don't want this car. You do not want this car. Because I love my Toyota. I get ridiculously attached to inanimate objects. I'm going to miss my Toyota. Because it's been so good to me over the last 8 years. But unfortunately, it needs to be replaced. It wouldn't have lasted another New England winter. It wouldn't have. So, the old girl's gonna get retired. We're not sure what we're gonna do with her. She's gonna live at my mom's house for the time being, because she has a 3-car driveway, and it's just her living there at the moment, so, she has the space to store the car. She might use it until she replaces her car, because her Chrysler is even older than my Toyota. I'm gonna miss that car too, actually. I'm getting upset. I'm talking about getting rid of cars. This is ridiculous, but like I said, I get attached, and when it's like moving or something, where you've had something so long that it's just like a part of you. So, yeah. And I spent so much time in that car, because I used it, we got it for me to start my second year of college. So I've had that car since 2007, and it's actually 8 years I've had that car at the end of last month. So, I mean, it did really good for the 8 years. It got me through college. It got me through my first year and a half out in the working world. But it's time that it's replaced, and I know that, but you know, I'm gonna miss the old girl. So it's silly. I'm tearing up over a car, but anyways. I'm at the 30-minute mark, so I will leave you folks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for making it all the way through. Thank you for listening to me get emotional about a car. If you're a new viewer, thank you for sitting through the whole thing. I appreciate it. You can find the show notes on my blog and the Ravelry group. If you have any questions, you can PM me on Ravelry. You can post in the thread I have in the group. I have questions for the podcaster, so you can post there. You can email me. You know, feel free to PM me anywhere. You know, Twitter, Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, like whatever. It's fine. I'll friend you back. I'll follow you back. So that's cool. Yeah, I think that's it. So I hope you all have a good week. And let's see, it's Labor Day this weekend, so I hope you guys enjoy your 3-day weekends. I may or may not work on Labor Day, depending on whether it's allowed with my job, because I work from home, so it's not really, anyways. Hope you have a good week. Hope you folks in the U.S. have a good 3-day weekend, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye!